The Midday Show, live on QBS.
So many people believe that true happiness will arrive when they achieve a certain goal, such as a promotion, a bigger house, a new car, or finding quote unquote the one. Right?
Yeah.
People think when I get these things, then I'll find happiness. Is this a common misconception that you encounter?
I think the first step is actually truly understand what is the meaning of happiness. So happiness can be split into two components. So first one is called hedonic happiness. Okay, so that is happiness that you come from pleasures. So basically the examples that you mentioned, okay, they fall under hedonic happiness. So you feel like lots of positive emotions and basically non-negative emotions. And this increase of happiness is actually temporarily. So quickly you will return back to like a stable level of happiness. Yes.
Right, because for example, when you get a promotion at work, right, you're so happy about it.
Yeah.
But then you realize your workload also increases.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'm stressed.
Yeah, but also if you excited you bought a new car, right? But maybe after driving in it for a few days, that happiness wears off.
Right.
That's it. You go back to the normal level.
Right, because it just becomes a regular part of your day again.
Exactly. So then you have the second component, which is called eudaimonic happiness, okay? That one is happiness that comes from within. So when you have a meaning and there's a self-realization, and that happiness lasts longer than the hedonic happiness. So that's the first one I mentioned. Okay, and when you find a balance between these two types of happiness, actually it leads to more fulfilling and satisfying life.
Okay, so it's not just about, focusing on eudaimonic happiness. You have to find a balance between both of them.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's finding a balance between the both, because it's not like you also have happiness because of you get a promotion or hanging out with a friend over a cup of coffee. That also brings you happiness. But for the longer lasting ones, then you need to look at the eudaimonic happiness.
Okay. So if relying solely on external circumstances, like we said, isn't the answer, what are some fundamental internal sources that are key to cultivating a more consistent sense of contentment and joy in our lives?
Yeah. So that's the eudaimonic, right?
Right.
So that is like, okay, finding a purpose, living authentically, and living by your norms and values, flourishing, thriving, and striving for excellence and growth as an individual. These will definitely help you cultivate the eudaimonic happiness.
Right. It sounds so easy saying purpose, right? Finding a purpose. That's one of the hardest things in life, though. This is something everybody struggles with. Even I have struggled with it. Like, there were so many points in my life that I asked myself, why am I here? What's my purpose? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so hard to like pinpoint your purpose.
Yes. It is actually a whole journey. And I think like for me, what I'm doing now as a positive psychology practitioner, that is my purpose in life. And why is because I was finding something that complements your personality, your strengths and your values. And that's how I found my purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So how would you help, somebody else navigate that journey of finding their purpose?
So we will start with understanding your strengths. So there are like strengths questionnaires, evidence-based, and then we do that. And
SWOT analysis, things like that.
No, it's called like the one I use called Values in Action. So it's developed by like a number of psychologists, around the world. And there are different strengths, and they are actually culturally accepted by everyone, these words, so it could be kindness or love or these kind of things. And the thing is, when you do this kind of questionnaires, it helps you to pick out which ones are your strengths, and then we're going to really deep dive and explore into it to really understand yourself.
Okay. So it's more about digging into a person's core values.
Correct. Understanding their strengths and then their values. And that's slowly the process in finding your purpose in life. Because we can only be happy when you're doing things that you enjoy. And to doing things you enjoy are things that you're good at. Those are your strengths.
Right.
And those are your values.
Okay. Do you also dig into what, quote unquote, their weaknesses?
We don't call them weaknesses. So you have like 24 strengths. We call them the lesser strengths. So
lesser strengths. Okay.
Lesser strengths.
Positive psychology.
Exactly. So yes, you can work on those. So for example, you want to work on something that is a lesser strength. You can definitely tackle that, and there will be interventions to work on it. And then you will see if you have, at this point, you've done a questionnaire, and it's a lesser strength. And if you worked on it, you can see there's a boost in the strength. It goes up in your ranking.
Okay.
So you can definitely specifically work on it on a strength, or because of certain situations that you go through, that a lesser strength becomes a higher strength.
I love it. I love the terminology as well. It's amazing. Okay, I'm starting to understand more and more the term positive psychology. Now we're going to touch on building resilience for lasting happiness. So life is full of up and downs, right? And challenges that are inevitable. So beyond just coping, how can we actively build resilience and inner strength during tough times?
Okay, one is like have an open mindset. Okay, like look at the learnings that come from challenging situations. Okay, and have a positive mindset. So knowing that this situation is just temporary, it is just a phase, it shall pass, and you'll come out of it stronger. You know, you have to be hopeful that you have like a positive outlook on life and on the future. This is really important. And then that you accept, you know, parts in a situation that are not in your control. So accept that, and then look at the parts that are in your control and think, okay, what's the first step that I can take to improve the situation a little bit? That's very important. Be grateful. You talked about it actually.
Yeah, gratitude is a big thing.
Gratitude is a big thing. It's not, we often think, okay, it's only we apply it in good times. No, we need to also apply it in bad times.
For sure. That's like when it's the hardest, right? Because right, I'm not gonna say like I'm so perfect in practicing my religion that there weren't times in my life where I, you know, questioned God's, you know, plan for me or blamed His plans that have happened in my life, right? Of course, for example, I lost my dad at such a young age. When you're that young, like 10 years old, you're like you need somebody to blame.
Yeah.
Right? I can't blame my family members, so who am I gonna blame? Yeah. But you know, there was definitely points in my life where I wasn't practicing that gratitude, and I was like, why are you doing this to me? Like, what did I do so wrong? Yeah. But as I got older, I started practicing it in the tough times. So you know, I'm going through a rough time, people ask me, how are you? And I'm like, I've been better, but alhamdulillah for everything. Yes. Thank God for everything.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And I think, you know, it doesn't, you know, gratitude doesn't take away the pain.
It doesn't.
It doesn't take away the stress, frustration, but it does put everything into perspective.
Definitely,
right?
Yes.
And I think that's a really important thing. And actually, I don't know, this is a really nice quote that I want to share with you. It's from Shauna Nyquist. She's an author, and she said, you know, when life is sweet, you say thank you and you celebrate. When life is bitter, say thank you and grow.
Ooh,
yeah, it's so powerful.
It is.
But it
is. Makes so much sense. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
It's a beautiful quote.
Yes, it is. So, yeah. Another one is, you know, spend the energy on finding solutions. You know, don't spend the energy on overthinking or
wallowing.
Exactly, wallowing or overcomplicating the problem, because there's always more solutions than having problems.
Right.
Okay. Another one is self-awareness, you know, identify and challenge yourself. If you spot yourself, hey, I'm having these negative thoughts. And then you can come up with proof and tell yourself, hey, what I'm thinking, that is not true. Okay, that definitely helps. And last one is mindfulness. You talked about it as well. So basically, mindfulness is practicing where you want your attention to be. And you can do that by meditation or breath work or even doing yoga. So that definitely helps and boost your resilience.
All right. Can you practice mindfulness during doing any other workouts as well?
As long as you're in the moment, yes.
Okay.
So you have to be present.
Right.
Really rooted. So, and sometimes when you are mindfulness or you're meditating, right, you still have thoughts coming in. That's normal. That's what you need to do is they come in, let them go out straight away.
I mean, it sounds easy, right? We're talking about it like it's easy, but it's not easy, and we know that.
Yes.
Right? We know this. But these are, just a few techniques for you guys as our listeners to look into and see which one fits you the best.
Correct.
Right? You don't have to practice all of them. No, but like it's a way for you to like, okay, this sounds like something I can do. Let me try that. So I can approach my happiness in a more holistic way.
Correct.
Right? It's not that, okay, I have to do all the from the diet to my exercise to this. You can cherry pick. It's okay.
Yes, you should, because it should be enjoyable. It's something that really makes you feel good.
Right.
And it doesn't have to take long. Even breath work, 3 minutes. It does wonders.
Right.
Yeah.
My therapist taught me to breathe in from my stomach. When I'm like, when she, when I practice mindfulness or meditation. Meditation puts me to sleep. I can't do that. But
Very good. You're very mindful. It puts you to sleep. It works.
It does. It puts me to sleep. It's so difficult. I remember in the beginning of my journey with my therapist, and she was like, try meditation. And she gave me a mindfulness application to download on my phone. First minute, I was dozing off. I went back to her and I was like, don't tell me to do that ever again. It's too... But yeah, so you should cherry pick, because like Celeste said, it should be enjoyable to you. It should be something that you look forward to doing, because working on yourself is a whole journey, right?
Yes, that never stops.
It never stops. But if you're doing something that's not enjoyable to you, then you stop.
Yeah, definitely. It shouldn't feel like a chore. It should be something that you look forward to doing, because you know that it does you good.
Definitely, and something you can easily incorporate into your everyday life.
Yes.
Okay. So beyond individual mindset, what role does external support systems like friends or family or professional help play in building resilience and helping us navigate life's inevitable difficulties?
Oh, they're so important. Our family or friends, they are one of your biggest support network, right? They can give you the emotional support, right? They can give you the shoulder to cry on.
Right.
They can give you the hug. They can, you can talk things through with them. They give you the love, the empathy, and actually once your emotions have calmed down, you can think better, and it's more clear for you what the actual issue is. And then you can look specifically for solutions, to tackle it. Another thing that we should not overlook, actually you mentioned, is your religion. Oh, spirituality is so important also to build resilience and, going through hardship, because you will feel connected and you feel that you are part of something larger than yourself.
Right.
So that's very important. And then as far as like professional support, they can provide you the safe space, for you to reflect, to talk. They can give you advice. They can teach you tools and strategies to deal with all these, adversities you're facing currently, but also for the future. How are you going to tackle these?
Right. I mean, okay, but what if your family and friends are your biggest haters?
Your biggest haters. But I'm sure you will have other people in your life, that are supportive.
Right.
Because
not everyone has a great relationship with family and friends, right? Sometimes those relationships are the most toxic to them.
Then my question would be, why do you still allow them to be in your life? And why didn't you choose to invest in relationships that are positively contributing to your well-being?
That's a good question. It's a good question. Okay, so again, those are all great points that you mentioned about support system. But what happens when people who are supposed to be, like I said, be our support are causing us significant pain and conflict? How do we decide whether to work on fixing the relationship or if stepping away is the healthiest option? And does prioritizing our own peace mean that we shouldn't rely on anyone else for happiness?
Yeah. Okay. So first when you said whether fixing the relationship or not, right? So if you want to fix a relationship, it takes two people, right?
Of course.
So you have an open and honest conversation where you discuss both needs, okay? And how these both needs can be met. So then it's very clear for the relationship, okay? And then it can go either way then, right? Because then it's like, okay, this is something we can work on and it can improve our relationship. You can carry on. Or it could be that you both have come to a conclusion that it's better to end this relationship.
Right.
Okay, and then for as whether you should walk away from a relationship, it depends. You have to look and see whether this person, is he or she contributing or supporting your happiness, or is it actually draining your energy? If it's draining your energy, it gives you negative emotions only. Those are signs that it's better to walk away from it. But when I say supporting your happiness, okay, those people around you are not there to make you happy. I think that needs to be very clear. You're the only person that can make yourself and choose to be happy.
Because a lot of people rely on other things, whether it's other people or obsessions or hyperfixations. They rely on these things to make them happy. But once you take that away, what is the core of your happiness? Where does it come from?
It should be coming from within.
It should. Definitely.
It should be. Because it's your choice to be happy. Like, you can choose to think, it's the blaming thing. Oh no, I'm not happy because he or she didn't make me happy. No, it's about you. Are you content? Are you happy with where you are now in life?
Right.
You decide to be happy. It's not because of someone else.
Definitely. You know, when I was younger, and I used to get into like trouble, or I used to get into situations that would upset me, right? I used to stay upset for a prolonged period of time. And my mom used to tell me that if I'm upset about something for over an hour, then that means, you know, I'm the one who's choosing to stay upset. That thing, it made me upset for a little bit, but I'm the one who chooses to sit in that prolonged sadness or upset.
Yeah.
And I never used to understand that. Until I started working on myself and being my own source of happiness.
Yeah.
That's when I understood it. Now, when I get into a situation that upsets me, I'll be upset about it for, 30 minutes, right? Venting and like, this and that and the other, venting to my friends and my family. This happened. Can you believe this? And just to get all of that out of me, right? I'm a person that needs to vent.
Yeah.
Right? I'll vent 30 minutes to an hour to anyone who'll listen to me, my siblings, my best friends, my mother, anybody who'll listen to me. I'll be like, can you believe this? And then after that, I'm like, okay, I'll let it go.
Exactly. And it's your choice.
It's my choice.
And your mom is right, because it's your choice. So you letting that situation impacting you so much to waste your energy for 1 hour to be upset about it.
Right.
And what's the result? That you're unhappy. That's it. Didn't fix anything because you were still upset about it.
Right. See, again, I never understood that when I was younger. I'm like, what is she talking about? What is this woman saying to me? Yeah. But getting older, I understand it now. Why she used to always tell me that it's my choice to stay upset.
Exactly.
Okay, now before we take a break, I want to quickly touch on something that is often overlooked, which is the crucial link between our physical habits and our emotional state. How vital is it for our overall happiness that we pay attention to things like sleep, nutrition, and movement?
Exercise is so important, right?
Right.
Like research, it consistently shows that it's related. Exercise related to a better psychological and physical well-being. So people that actually regularly exercise, they are 25% less likely to develop anxiety and depression. So, and if you do 3 times 30 minutes, is as effective as an antidepressant.
Okay.
So, which is only 1.5 hours of your whole week. But it works wonders, yes. And also, if you exercise, it improves your mental alertness, your cognitive function, and it also improves your sleep. And sleep is very important, right? Because
it's a foundation.
Exactly.
To everything in our lives and how we feel. It's a foundation, and I can't stress this enough.
Exactly. And when we sleep, it's like a reset button.
Right.
It's like, okay, it prepares you psychologically and physically for the new day, the next day.
I knocked out at 9 p.m. last night. I'm feeling great today.
Exactly. See? And you knew you were going to see me.
Yeah.
So sleep is very important. And then, when we look at positive psychology, there's research showing that there's a link between good sleep and higher positive emotions and eudaimonic happiness. And there's also the link, if you have a poor sleep, that lowers your positive emotions and eudaimonic happiness. So if you don't sleep well, it leads you to not feeling well. And then not feeling well also impacts that you don't sleep well. So there's a link. It goes 2 ways. So sleeping is really important. And then you have the people that might be sleep deprived, because of...
Some people are insomniacs. They can't sleep.
But, it can lead to fatigueness, lowers your concentration, your alertness, and if it's long-term, actually, it can lead to poor mental health. So resting enough is really, really important because it influences your ability to actually deal with your emotions.
But I also think people who struggle with sleeping, whether it's like insomnia or sleep deprivation, sometimes they be sitting there wondering, like, why? Why can't I sleep? I personally think that there's always something deeper going on that you're not acknowledging or that you don't know is happening, right? For example, one of my best friends, she's terrible at sleeping.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. And she always tells me, I don't know why I can't sleep. And I'm like, girl, there's something going on. She's like, no, there's nothing. I'm fine. And I'm like, girl, you're not fine. If you were fine, you would be able to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What did you say? Go and talk to someone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like peeling an onion, and maybe they are, like you said, they are unaware.
Yeah.
But there is an answer.
Right.
And the answer is in her.
Yeah. One day she told me like a really like traumatizing thing that happened to her. And then I was like, and you're wondering why you can't sleep? She's like, it could have been worse. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if it could have been worse.
Exactly.
That's definitely, your safety was compromised. Of course you can't sleep.
Yes. Subconsciously is actually,
yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
So I'm like, girl, you're playing yourself.
Yeah.
Seek help.
Yes, exactly.
No, honestly, I'm laughing as I say it, but seek help. Whether you're talking to a coach or a therapist, it helps.
Yes.
It helps.
Really.
You will find the root cause of what is happening.
Exactly. And, don't think about when you talk to a coach or that something is wrong with you. It's not. It's not. It's really improving your own well-being,
Right.
Figure out who you are, having answers on all the questions you might have, finding your meaning, your purpose.
Right.
So, yeah, everyone can benefit from coaching.
Definitely. For sure. Therapy, coaching, I believe everybody should do it.
Oh, yeah.
Not because something's wrong with you, but sometimes we find it hard to talk to the people that we're closest to about certain things. I know that was the case for me. That's why I was like, I need to go to an external source where I know it's going to be completely neutral.
Yes.
There's not going to be arguing back.
Yep.
It's just going to be a way for me to get things out and self-reflect.
Yes.
Right? Without judgment, without conflict, without any negative feelings. So that's why I opted for therapy. I was like, I need to get it out somewhere. I don't know where. Right? I don't feel I feel some of the things I went through, I was like, I feel ashamed of having gone through them, right? And I don't want the people I love to look at me any different, right?
Yeah.
That was obviously in the beginning of my journey. Now I feel differently about it. But definitely in the beginning, there was a lot of shame, and I was like, I can't tell you what happened to me because I don't want you to look at me like I'm fragile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think coaching and therapy is essential.
Yes.
And everybody needs to do it.
Oh, totally. I agree with you. I agree. And I think, like you said, because you don't want to talk to your friends or family about it, it's also, like you said, is the judgment aspect one thing, and also they're already biased.
Because they love you.
Yeah, and they know you.
And they care about you, yeah.
Exactly. So it is essentially you speak to someone that's professional, that's unbiased and non-judgmental. And then they they ask you the questions that make you really reflect and dig deep down.
And they hold you accountable.
Exactly.
But they also hold those around you accountable. For, somebody upsets you, your therapist is going to hold you accountable for your emotions and your actions, but they're also going to hold them accountable for what they did to upset you, right? And it's a great way to because sometimes, right, something happens to me, somebody upsets me. Sometimes I'm like, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I did something to upset them and that's why they upset me even more, right? It's like a constant self-blame game. Like, it's my fault. Yeah. But then when you go to somebody that's so neutral and unbiased, they're like, no. What they did was wrong. How you reacted is valid, right?
Exactly. It's also exactly someone validating your emotions.
Right.
Because sometimes when you're so in the emotions, you can't see it clear anymore. Just remember what I said. If you deal with your emotions first, then when they, calm down, you see things more clear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's amazing, like the whole what coaching and therapy can do for you.
I know. It's so powerful.
It is.
And I'm so happy, more and more people, they understand the concept of coaching. And maybe you're seeing a therapist, how it can support them.
Definitely.
And that you don't have to have something wrong with you. You think that something is wrong. But it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And it's time to answer some questions that we have. We have Noor, who has a few questions. The first one is, what truly fills you, not just distracts you? So I'm guessing she's asking about what are things that truly fill you and can help you find lasting happiness and not just distract you from your problems, right? Because sometimes we get upset. We're like, okay, I need a distraction. I go on my phone and I'm doom scrolling, right?
Yes.
So what are things people can do to fill themselves and not just distract themselves?
Well, it depends what type of happiness she's looking for, right? Because we had the hedonic ones, which could be like catching up with your friend over a cup of coffee, okay? Rather than spending your time scrolling through your social media, you can just call a friend and talk to them. That is one thing. But if you want something more deeper, meaningful, then it's more about what are your norms and values, what is authenticity, live by it. So it depends. Are you looking for something on a simple daily day-to-day thing? Could be reading even a book or sipping a nice coffee.
Right.
Is really being mindful and grateful for, I am really enjoying this. Because a lot of people, if you look at gratitude, you think, I'm like, what are you grateful for? You think about, my job or my health. But what we forget and unaware of are actually all the simple daily things that we do. And actually they help you in boosting, your positive emotions and practicing your gratitude. So for example, it could be today, I'm meeting this lovely lady from social media. Sorry, your name is too difficult for me.
Rukeya.
Rukeya! See? That made my day. And seeing Josie again and Precious, that is nice, But if you are really mindful of that, that helps you a lot. That can actually fill your day. So these simple things. Even, a friendly encounter with the security guard.
Yeah.
Really.
We used to have a security guard at the gate.
Yeah.
I don't know. One day he just decided I was his bestie.
Did you get the other half of the heart rate?
He just decided I was his bestie. Maybe because I was nice to him and I used to say good morning to him. But I would arrive to work in the morning and he would be like, bestie. And I just was like, I don't know what's happening, but okay, hi, bestie.
But it made your day, right? As well.
It used to make our day, both me and him. And then when it was his last day working with us, he was like, today's my last day. I was like, no, bestie. I was like, you can't leave. He's like, I am. They're assigning me somewhere else. And I'm like, okay.
See, but that's it. These are little things that fill your cup, okay? If you wake up, your cup is empty. These are the little things that fills your cup. But we need to be aware of. Catch those drops.
Right. So it depends on what type of happiness that you're looking for.
Correct. Yes. And like we said, you have to have a balance of both. Very important. You cannot only have one or the other.
I see.
Yeah.
Some of our listeners have really good questions, but I feel like it requires a session with you to maybe get through it. Because we have a listener here who says, hi, Yusuf here. The way to achieve any form of happiness is to spend time with people you love or go do something that you enjoy doing. For me, it's family time and not just technology, not just for technology. And the eternal hurt is losing your happiness. So he's asking, can you tell me how to deal with that in the most positive way possible?
Oh, we thank you, Yusuf, for this question, because actually we talked about it offline already. This is something deeper. There is no quick fix for this one. Like Josie said, first of all, you need to acknowledge it, but very much you need to action.
Right, because a lot of people stop at acknowledging and reflecting.
Exactly.
They feel like I've reflected, then change can happen.
Yeah, and then done.
Yeah, done.
No, but then the biggest step is action and then push it through. That is so key, because with acknowledging, nothing happens then. You need to action and change it. Because by not changing, you're not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting people around you as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
So a session with you is needed.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Okay, so we have Bibi here who says, how can I improve self-love and reduce self-judgment?
Wow. Yes. Be kind to yourself.
Right.
Really. First of all, be kind to yourself. If you have nothing nice to say, just zip it.
Right. And that applies to yourself.
Exactly.
That applies to yourself, not just to other people.
Exactly. And more self-love. Wake up with the day with a positive affirmation. If you look in the mirror and tell yourself, wow, I look good today. I'm going to have a great day today. That helps. And not like, ooh, I look a bit sleepy or whatever. No, because that's, again, you set the pace, you set the tone for the day.
Right. And instead of waking up like, oh, it's another day. I don't want to go to work. I want to stay home. Those are like negative thoughts.
Exactly.
And you are right. It does kind of set the tone for the rest of your day, right? I notice on the days that I wake up groggy and like, oh my God, I don't want to go into work today. Those are the days where things go wrong.
Yeah. And then you come in here with a different feeling, right? You're like,
Right.
Whereas you start the day happy and cheerful, you come into work cheerful.
Right.
And that definitely, actually, it affects your colleagues. They're like, hey, it positively affects your colleague. Because you're cheerful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ruqayya can attest to this. The days that I started off wrong, that I started with a negative thought, I would come in, she's already sitting there across me. I sit down and I'm just quiet.
And then, what do you do then? You like,
I don't talk to her.
you see? She knows already. Exactly. And when she's happy, then you feel that happiness, right? It bounces off, that positive. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I'm groggy, she just doesn't talk to me. And it's fine, because that's how I want people to, like, I don't want to be talked to anyway.
Exactly.
So, and I've let my colleagues know, I was like, hey, if there's a day I come in moody, groggy, don't talk to me. Just don't acknowledge me. Don't ask me what's wrong. I'll be fine. Just don't acknowledge me. I'm not here.
But that's good. You're very clear beforehand. That's good.
Yeah.
No need to fake it.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
And people have, days that they're a bit down. That's normal. We're human.
Right.
Even
For
though we talk
sure.
about happiness, I mean, come on. I'm also human. I also have days that I don't feel that happy.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, to answer your question, Bibi, I feel like, self-acceptance, and this was a topic we talked about like a few days ago as well, self-acceptance, right? It's a long journey. Like anything else in life, healing your inner child, healing yourself, finding, holistic ways to be happy. It's a journey, right? I've been saying this a lot for the past 2 months. Almost every other episode.
She's going to tattoo it soon.
Yeah, no, but it's a journey, right? So, it's easy for us to say, be kinder to yourself, right? But I think one way to acknowledge that and like how to start being kinder to yourself is to acknowledge, first of all, if there's a voice saying negative things to you in your head, that's not your voice, by the way. It's not you, right? You can always, once you acknowledge it, you can shut it down and be like, why is this even in my head right now?
Yeah.
Right? Acknowledge it, and then you can shut it down and you can replace it with your voice, a kinder voice, one that loves you. And you just do that as like constantly as you can, right? For example, like Celeste said, wake up in the morning with positive affirmations. I look good today, I'm gonna have a good day. Or, there's that movie, The Help. You was kind, you was smart, you was important, right? So that's like what the character was telling the child. Positive affirmations like this, like you're kind, you're important, reminding yourself that you're human and you matter, right?
Exactly.
They're also asking, there's always trauma from the past stopping me from achieving self-happiness. Is there a way to overcome it?
Yes, first to work on the trauma. So
Yes, you have to confront it.
yes,
As-
face it.
yeah,
and you will grow.
As unpleasant as it sounds, and trust me, doing it is just as unpleasant.
Yeah.
Disgusting. No, I'm joking. But it's unpleasant, but that's the only way you get through it.
Yes, be brave, be vulnerable, deal with these emotions. They're there. And the longer you're not dealing with it, the more effect it will have on you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be ashamed of it. Actually, it takes really bravery to be vulnerable and accept that you have gone through a trauma and that you are facing it right now. You only come out stronger. Trust
Definitely.
me. Yeah.
Definitely. And it's also mindset, because I see a meme sometimes that are like, it's not a meme, but somebody once said that like my traumas didn't make me stronger, they made me traumatized.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Wow.
that's one way to look at it. It's a negative way to look at it.
Exactly.
But the fact of the matter is, your traumas do make you stronger. They add resilience.
Exactly. If you choose the right way to deal with the trauma. So basically, the trauma is one thing, and then you have the option. Are you going to deal with it and come out of it stronger? Or you choose the trauma to traumatize you? It's our choice.
Yes. Definitely. There's one thing that I tell the people that I love the most, right? When the trauma first happens to you, okay, we can excuse your behaviors because you're traumatized, right? We can excuse a lot of things for you because you are traumatized. So when it happens, yeah, it's an excuse. It's not an excuse, but it's a reason. Yeah. For why you hurt the way you hurt, why you act the way you act. But at some point, that trauma stops becoming a reason, and you're just using it as a crutch. Yeah. To excuse your bad behavior.
It's avoidance.
It's avoidance. Yeah,
to deal with the matter.
Right, because hurt people, right?
Yes.
Hurt people hurt other people.
Oof, yes.
So when that happens, right? If I see, for example, somebody that I love, they're in a conflict with somebody, and in that conflict they hurt somebody's feelings, right? And they're like, but no, they did this to me. And I'm like, no, your trauma was a reason in the beginning, but at some point when you don't work through it and you just let it sit and manifest inside of you, it's no longer a reason.
Exactly. And sometimes we're good at doing that.
Yeah.
And we should stop doing that.
We should. Avoidance is no bueno.
Oh, exactly. No good. We should actively deal with it, solve the issue.
For sure. No, I definitely agree with that. So going back to our listeners, we have a listener who says that they have a friend who's always guilty of celebrating happiness or things that make them happy. So, for example, when they're hanging out and she's actually having a good time, in the middle of that good time, she stops and she's like, maybe I shouldn't be happy right now. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I shouldn't have come out. So the listener is asking for any tips you can, give them to help them out as a friend.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for being such an amazing friend. Really, by noticing it. Wow, it's actually something deeper, If someone feels guilty to feel or be happy, it's really finding out the reasons. And as a friend, this is too deep for you actually you should actually, what you can do as an advice is maybe do you want to talk to someone about it, to find out why you're feeling guilty, because everyone deserves happiness. And it's a choice. The happiness, is your friend's choice to decide whether she wants to be happy or not. Right. And everyone deserves happiness. Right. So why is she not?
I used to feel guilty about having a good time because I felt like I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve to be happy because I was going through a lot of inner turmoil. So perhaps that's something your friend is also experiencing. There's nothing you can do as a friend or family to fix it for her. But I think what you can do is offer her a safe space. That's the first thing. And maybe offer her, a little support in her finding the resources to help her.
Exactly.
Right? She has to help herself. So, if you support her in looking for a wellness coach or looking for a therapist, I think that's one of the best things you can do for your friend.
Yeah, totally. To be there for her at the start of this journey.
Right,
and throughout the journey.
It's difficult. Yeah. I felt like I didn't have anybody in the start of my healing journey. Because again, I didn't want my family to look at me any differently by telling them what I'm going through.
So you didn't tell them actually that you were looking for a therapist.
I didn't tell them what was going on in the sessions. They knew that, begrudgingly they took me to therapy, but they didn't know what was going on in the sessions, and I didn't share that with them. Yeah. And at the time I had just moved back from UK, so I didn't have many friends here that stayed here in Qatar. All of them had left, right? So I didn't have friends. Didn't feel like I didn't feel ready to go to my family with it. So I went through it alone, and that was so tough.
Yeah, that's hard.
It was so tough. So being there for her at the start of her journey, crucial. Very important.
Definitely. And like you said, maybe she doesn't feel like she deserves happiness, but everyone deserves happiness.
Everyone does, yeah.
So you can exactly support her in finding the right resources to, find out what's the reason behind why she's feeling this way.
Yeah. Why does she feel she's undeserving?
Exactly, because everyone is deserving of happiness, and it's a choice.
It's a choice, for sure. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. Okay, so we have a listener who's asking, is it okay to admit that we want more than success? Like, we want to be happy too. Why do so many people feel like they have to choose one or the other? So why do they... It does seem like a choice sometimes, happiness or success.
But the definition for you, what is your definition of happiness?
Or success.
Exactly, or success. Success could be happiness.
Right.
Everyone has a different definition to it. So don't compare it. So you can choose for success and happiness. It's the same thing like, I want to be rich. But what is the meaning of rich? These words are so ambiguous.
Right.
Right? Like for me, being rich is being very happy and grateful and content. That's my term of rich. So I can be rich and happy at the same time.
Right. Definitely. I feel like, I may not be the richest financially, but I'm rich in every other area of my life. And that for me is enough. That for me, I consider success.
Exactly.
Right? I don't have to have the highest position at my job to feel successful. No, I'm happy where I am actually with my job. Like, I don't need a promotion. I feel like, khalas, I'm successful in what I'm doing in life.
Exactly. And contentment plays a big role in
sure.
happiness. So being content, what is, that's why the success, what is success? If you're content at this stage in your life, what you've achieved, that is success.
That is success.
That
For
is
sure.
success.
No, I agree 100%.
So, yeah.
We have another question. A lot of people say that they feel lost after a breakup, even if it was the right decision. Why does happiness feel so out of reach in that phase?
Oh, wow. Because you are recovering from hurt, and you have to deal with it. It's like you're resetting yourself, and you have to go through and deal with the pain. And you will find happiness again. It is there. But take the time to heal and to figure out where you want to go, in life. And then slowly the happiness comes through you again. Because it's your choice.
Yeah, definitely. How would one tell the difference between toxic positivity and genuine optimism?
Wow, toxic positivity. Oh, that linking those two words. But you can be overly positive. Yes, that's not good because then you don't see the danger anymore. So that's something that you have to be aware. That's not a good thing. If you're always positive in everything and you don't see any risks, that's not good. So if you know that, basically everything that you overdo is not good.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I hear you. Okay, so as we wrap up our discussion on holistic approach to happiness, what's one final takeaway you'd like to leave our audience with?
Oh, yes. Happiness is not by chance, but by choice.
Not by chance, but by choice.
Correct.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, happiness, again, it's what you define as happiness, what you consider success. It's it's something only you can define, right?
Yes.
It's, for example, I always tell my brother, like, don't base what being a man is based on what society says being a man is, right? Because his definition of what being a man is could differ from his friend, could differ from my other brother, could differ from my cousin. So I always tell him, you decide, you choose what being a man means to you, and that's it. Nobody else can do that for you.
Exactly. And that's actually living also authentically.
Right.
Because you go off with what you think is the definition of what a man
Right.
needs to be.
Right.
Or what is your happiness.
Because there was a coach that we had who said, we tend to live life on autopilot, right? Based on the things that were fed to us growing up, right? You have to have a college degree, you have to be an engineer or a doctor or a pilot or whatever in order for you to be considered successful. You need a degree, you need a good paying job, you need good money, you need a happy family, a perfect family.
Yeah.
Not even happy, a perfect family.
Yeah.
Right? You need these
To the
things
outside world.
To the outside world to be considered successful. But internally, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Collecting all of these things has just made me miserable and cynical as a person. So what was the point in that?
Exactly. But it also, is that the purpose in your life? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you
Definitely.
getting these because it ticks off the boxes from what the society wants from you? Or is it really truly what you're here for? Is that your purpose?
Yes.
So really look at yourself and finding out what is your definition of happiness. What is your measurement of happiness?
Yeah. How you think your life should go, you would decide that.
Oh, totally.
You would decide that.
You decide where you're building the road where you're heading to.
Right. You know, like in Islam, we believe that our life has been written out for us, right? But it's written out in the choices we make, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, I chose to take this job. Had I not taken this job, my destiny would have been something else.
Yeah.
But I chose to take this job. And I
Exactly.
chose to, be in this line of career. And I chose to, meet people like you by choosing this job.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I could have chosen a different career and gone a different path. And that's a different type of destiny. That's one string of my destiny.
Yeah.
But this is the string that I chose.
Yes, I fully agree with that. Yes. And I think for everyone, there are opportunities. So you cannot say, okay, there is more opportunities for the one person or the other. It's not, because you create opportunities.
Yes.
And also when an opportunity comes along, you need to take it with both hands, because if that opportunity
Right. Don't let
goes
it
by,
slide.
Don't let it slide. Exactly, because then once you have taken that opportunity, other doors will open.
Exactly.